Hey everybody, Lord of the Pogs here. A few weeks ago, I asked you to ask me some questions that I would answer on video, and I'm finally getting around to it. I got some recording equipment in the mail yesterday that I've hooked up in my car, which I'm really excited about. So, first question, Bry Thor of Coffee wants to know, is there a favorite concert that I've ever been to and why? And is there a band that I always wanted to see and never got around to it? Well, my favorite concert experience has been Marilyn Manson, because we got to meet the band. We saw them play in 2008 at the Paramount Theater in Seattle, and we found this little door on the side that was labeled Stage Entrance. So we were there early, we didn't have anything better to do. We hung out around this door, and some tour buses pulled up, and the whole band stepped off. Chris Vrenna, Ginger Fish, Twiggy Ramirez, Rob Holiday. We got to talk to them, we got to shake their hands. Well, I asked Twiggy Ramirez if I could shake his hand, and he said, "I'd love to, but I'm actually bleeding right now." He cut himself in his palm, on his right hand. It looked like he'd cut himself on a piece of glass or something. We didn't get to meet Marilyn Manson though. We saw him get off the tour bus, but there were so many people, we didn't get to meet him, we didn't get to talk to him. He just stepped off and he waved to us, and he went inside. The concert was really good, but my favorite performance has been Trans-Siberian Orchestra. We've seen them 5 times, and every time they figure out a way to outdo themselves from the last time. When Trans-Siberian Orchestra plays, their concert tells a story. And they have this giant backdrop, this screen in the back, and whatever's going on in the story, it becomes part of the story. It becomes a cathedral or a toy store or a hospital or whatever's going on. And they play this song called Carmina Burana, which is one of the most beautiful, epically creepy, classical music pieces. Probably my favorite classical music piece that's out there. And they play this song, and the backdrop turns into a burning cathedral. You can see behind the backdrop they have these different levels, so the musicians can go up into them, and it looks like they're in the cathedral. Or in whatever it is. So they're in the cathedral, and it's a burning cathedral, and they've turned on all their pyros and all their smoke machines at the same time, and it looked like the whole place was burning down. It was fantastic. As for a band that I've always wanted to see and I never got around to it, that would be REO Speedwagon. When I was in high school, I had an opportunity to go to this huge music festival. It would have been REO Speedwagon, Pink Floyd, Styx, and Blue Oyster Cult, and nobody would go with me. Everybody I talked to, I would say things like, so REO Speedwagon, so it's a car show? Anyway, I'm still mad about it. I missed the show. It was going to be at this huge outdoor arena. So my goal has always been to see each one of these bands independently. I've seen Blue Oyster Cult, I've seen Styx, Pink Floyd has broken up, so that's a no-hitter. But I've never seen REO Speedwagon, and I've always wanted to. Second question, Catalina wants to know, what is my favorite song to play and why? Well, my favorite song that my band plays, I play in the band at church. My favorite song that we play is Amazing Grace, Your Chains Are Gone, which is a little bit different than your traditional Amazing Grace. I play this kind of shuffle rhythm on my bass, and it's just a beautiful song. It's got the main chorus and the main refrain from Amazing Grace, but it's got some additional lyrics in there too, and the music is just beautiful, and I love listening to it, and I love playing it even more. Sorry, my alarm went off and it stopped the recording. The first song I learned to play on the bass was Detroit Rock City by Kiss, which is a lot of fun to play. And that's probably my favorite secular song to play. Third question, Nikki Cupcakes wants to know, what would the world be like if it was full of male and female copies of myself? Well, if it was full of male copies of myself, I sort of have an issue with authority, and I've gotten a lot better as an adult. But when I was in college, when I was growing up, I hated being told what to do. In fact, if I was going to do something already, if I already had it in mind that I was going to do something, and somebody told me to do it, I would go out of my way to not do it, just so I could say, see, I don't do what I'm told. So if the world was full of male copies of myself, there might be a little bit of a problem. I feel like I'm very empathetic to people's struggles, because I've had struggles of my own in a lot of capacities. So that's a thing. So in that way, the world might be a little bit of a better place if everybody was as, maybe not as empathetic as me. It sounds like I'm kind of full of myself when I say it that way. But if everybody had a little bit more empathy, if everybody just had a bit of a heart and cared about more than themselves, I think the world would be a better place. Now, if the world was full of female copies of myself, when I was in college, I was a drag queen for a while. My stage name was Anastasia, and my style, I wasn't like your typical drag queen. You know, my style was more like Joan Jett or Paramore or Amy Lee. You know, so if the world was full of female copies of myself, you'd probably see a lot of women with piercings and tattoos and backwards baseball caps and bright colors. I don't know. That's an interesting question. Anyway, thanks for the questions. I hope you enjoyed. We'll do this again soon. Talk to you later.